We were looking at or in the internet. Fuck. I'm gonna start that over.
In the internet.
What's your source? The internet.
So fucking great.
How's it going, everyone? And welcome back to Unremarkable Gamers, episode number 3. My name is Charles, and today we have Bubba.
Hey, what's up, guys?
And the notorious Travis.
Yes, the king is here.
King of all salamanders.
So before we start the podcast, we wanted to do a quick update. Travis and I were online and saw that Game Informer released an article that Google will be releasing a streaming service in 2020 called Stadia. And basically what Stadia is it's kind of like a, how would you say it, like on-demand video game engine. You could play certain games.
So.
That's how I would put it, yeah.
It's like the next step of Bluetooth or something, for layman's terms, I guess.
It's like HBO
yeah.
Go for video games.
It's a streaming service that, in theory, will let people play on any device that has Google Chrome. So, whatever that means for you.
So are they going to allow you to download Google Chrome on your PlayStation?
They were rolling out like their own quote unquote console for it. It's just like a box and like you get a controller with it and you can play the game off of that you just plug right in your TV.
The Google box.
Basically.
See,
Stop
I think that's
Googling
gonna
your
flop. I
box,
think
boy.
it'll flop.
See, the issue is like, I mean, everyone's had this problem when they're watching like a YouTube video or Netflix where you have buffering issues. So I'm wondering how they're going to fix that issue of the buffering.
I don't think they really can they? Doesn't it all depend on your internet service?
I guess.
Is it kind of like a time will tell thing?
Yeah.
I mean,
are we at that point yet, or did they jump the gun on like revealing it?
Oh, I definitely think they jumped the gun on it. I mean, you were talking about Doug. Like, he was our guest on the last episode. He was talking a little bit about it to you. What did he say about it?
Well, he said that they were experiencing like lag during the reveal or something.
Mm-hmm.
There was noticeable lag at the reveal event. So even though it is coming out later this year, it will be several years before it works smoothly. Mind you, that's just what he thinks.
Yeah. I mean, I can see where that'd be an issue because it also...
I mean, Doug, excuse me, he's not a dummy, okay? He wouldn't just, like, say things.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can see where he's coming from because when you think about it, it also depends on the area where you live. If you live in a city, you're going to have a better internet connection, but if you live out in the country, you know, using dish internet, you're not going to have the best connection. I mean, if you're trying to get that zero ping, like... That's not happening anytime soon with a streaming service.
No, it's not possible.
I mean, when you think about how much data you would have to use to run that kind of game. I mean, personally, like for me, I mean, do you remember?
Is it the game or the ability, the service it's providing, like the ability to transfer the game on any?
I mean, I don't know the technicals of how it works exactly, but I remember, like...
I have no idea.
When first was hanging out at my girlfriend's house, King, you and I were, like, playing video games, and her router went out, and I'd have to use my cell phone's internet to game.
Plug your router in.
And, like, that
Which
worked.
is strangely reliable sometimes.
Yeah, it worked pretty well, especially, like, if we were playing... like Fortnite, it worked pretty well, but once you got into Rocket League where it's a little more
just intense, high speed back and forth,
then we were getting a lot of lagging.
Love that game.
But I think because Google, I mean, they were rolling out Google Fiber like 5 years ago, and
well, right, it's I feel like everybody's kind of heard about it at this point, and
so I'm thinking that's probably what they're hoping to back this up on in terms of like that speed that they want would be through Google Fiber, which would definitely be doable. But
right, because Google Fiber, that's the whole point, right? It's supposed to be
it's like ridiculously fast. I mean, you're talking
See, I
like
feel like
downloading a
Google-
movie, like a Hollywood movie, in like a few minutes.
Sure. And what were you gonna say, Bubba?
I feel like Google jumps the gun on every project they do. Like the Pixel, they jumped the gun, and it was nowhere near as successful as they wanted it to be.
Well, I think that's
Wow.
because Google's
They
just
can
trying
want
to.
something.
I think Google's trying to just dip their toe in as many.
Everything.
Yeah, as many parts of the market as they can.
I mean, they definitely got the money to give these attempts and to learn
Yes.
from them, and they will.
But
learn
take your
from them.
time.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure this is something they've been working on for a while because there's already certain services. I know PlayStation.
They're pretty
has one.
calculated, aren't they?
Yeah,
Like they they release a sparing amount of like technology a year or something, don't they?
I mean, I would assume so based on
Like
how soon
Go
it
ahead.
is until it's done. But at the same time, they're trying to please their shareholders at the same time trying to put out a product that customers need and want. So if that's something
Right.
that customers need and want, then I wouldn't see them
they think
rolling
it's
it
gonna
out.
make their life better.
Yeah, I
Right.
wouldn't see them rolling it out too soon into development if they knew that it wasn't going to work. Because, I mean, as of right now, they haven't given us a date. They just said sometime by the end of the year. I mean, it's what? It's
Oh,
May
I
right
thought you
now.
meant they released it
Right.
already.
No,
Yes.
they just,
No. No, it was like a reveal, and
yeah.
About to say, because then they just announced starting to work on that like mid last year.
I'm not sure
don't
about
know.
that, but I'm assuming they're already having people.
yeah,
Like, test it
I
out.
truly, personally, have pretty much just caught wind of this, and that's honestly how me and Charlie started talking about it because I was asking him what he thought or if he even knew about it, which he obviously knew a little bit. Yeah, it's interesting, and it'll be cool to see what they do with it and if it pays off. Which, I mean, I feel like the final product's going to be perfectly fine in the end, right?
Oh, I believe so, yeah. I mean,
They'll
as of
deliver.
what they've shown so far,
It'll be expensive, probably.
yeah, it's going to be
Well-
probably a monthly subscription, just like anything else.
Yeah,
But
Yeah, that'll be interesting to think about too.
I'll test it out eventually.
and now Apple released like I think a week ago or a few weeks ago that they were essentially doing the same thing. They're having their own gaming platform streaming system. And what
Okay.
they're really backing it up on as well is that they want this product to be shareable, and they're kind of hinting that they recommend that people actually like share the content
Yes,
with like their
right.
family
They
members. and
encourage.
friends. Yeah, they're
They encourage
encouraging
it.
people
Yeah.
sharing their
where other
passwords and stuff
companies
like
are
that.
like trying to crack down on that.
I would believe that Netflix is trying to crack down on people, but at the same time, Netflix offers the option to create multiple accounts.
Yeah.
Up to like 7 TVs, I think.
So, I mean, Apple, they definitely have the money for it. It's just like, how is their system going to work out? Is it going to be like on Apple TV? Is it going to be on cell phones as well? Because Google said like
See, I'm excited for that one.
they were trying to roll it out on a platform that uses Google. So, I would assume like cell phones as well. So I'm assuming Apple's going to try the same thing.
See, I'm excited about the Apple. I'm an Apple geek.
My only issue
And-
is that there's so many paid services out now. How many people are actually going to start buying into this based on
Yeah.
the fact that like they're already paying monthly for a bunch of other stuff? On top of that,
Yeah,
they're
that's
buying
true.
games when they come out.
hmm
So, I mean, we'll see where it goes. I mean, I'm excited for it for sure. I mean, if either Apple or Google can actually pull this off, it'll be a game changer for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. I agree.
When is the question? I'm sure
Yeah.
it'll be fine.
We'll be waiting for a while. Probably within a year, we'll see something. So,
In the meantime, I will focus to my unremarkable gaming.
And their GTA podcast.
yeah. So today's podcast is on GTA, like Bubba said. Like, what was the first GTA games you guys played?
Well, it was a long time ago, so it had to have been, and I didn't own it, so it had to have been the first GTA or the second GTA. But it was the top-down view on PlayStation.
I played 3.
Yeah, that was with me. I played 3, and then I got the cell phone version of, I believe it was 2. But like I had played Vice City Stories like on PSP, which that was awesome because you could just take that around with you. But
Did
yeah,
you enjoy it?
I liked it a lot, especially Vice City. Because I mean, like I
liked
said,
Vice City a lot.
it was on PSP, so like I could bring it to school with me and play it, or like on the bus. That was pretty cool, having a mobile game that was like advanced as it was.
Especially PlayStation 2, you know, that was really cool.
Oh yeah, PlayStation 2 was a good era. But going into it a little bit, GTA 1, you were talking a little bit about it before the podcast, King, that it was supposed to be a side scroller.
No. I believe it the idea of side scrolling, or the idea of the top down view came from side scrolling.
Okay.
They turned the background of the side scroller into the floor. That, you know, obviously opened the door for, you know, all sorts of games like, you know, racing games and eventually GTA.
So I know that we were watching a video and reading a couple articles, and they said that it was actually released on console, or not on console, on computer
PC.
first. Yeah, it was released on PC first. That was the first time I actually seen the game, but the first time I played it was 3. And
See, I never knew
okay.
that.
yeah, I knew about it, but I see. I didn't. I mean, when I was younger, when I'm thinking about it now, I don't know
Yeah.
what came first. You know what I mean? Until like now, we do the research about it and finding out that it came out first.
Right,
On
that's
PC.
crazy.
Right.
So
Yeah, because I experienced it on PlayStation, and that was honestly what I thought. I was so young too, though. You know.
we
God
were
bless.
young and we were playing GTA, man.
Ugh.
I mean,
Whatever.
it was such
Good
a
old
violent
days.
game though when you were that little, but at the same time, it was so much fun.
Bro, I've seen Bugs Bunny do some cruel shit to Yosemite. Right? I mean,
Oh no.
Oh,
haven't you guys seen Goodfellas? Come on.
I mean, what was that? They were talking about how it was actually when GTA 3 came out, it was kind of, they wanted to do it as a cinematic style. Like Rockstar was like, okay, let's do some cinematic quality to our games. And they actually wanted to like pull like the stylistic way that Reservoir Dogs was made, which came out right
Yes.
around that time. And they were also trying to write to Quentin Tarantino to see if he could actually like, you know, come over and like watch the cutscenes and play the game and like get his view on it and, you know, get
Did
a
he
little
say
bit
anything
of
to
input.
him?
No, he never wrote them back, which I think
Oh,
is kind of
that's too bad,
upsetting.
huh?
Like, I think
Oh,
he
right.
missed out
Well,
on an
right.
opportunity.
Ooh, well, I mean, it's
Could you
not like they
imagine
were
his
promising
voice?
any like rewards or.
No, I
Whatever,
just think,
but- I mean, did it even really get to him? I wonder. Who knows?
I guarantee it probably did, for sure.
But
But
I
probably at
love
that
Quentin
time,
Tarantino.
he probably
His
just
movies
didn't
anyway.
want to get into, you know, video games.
and what and do you know which game that was? That GTA 3?
Yeah, it was GTA 3. It was like right around the
Okay.
time Reservoir Dogs came out and Payback.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So those are the kind of games they were kind of take that approach to it. So
Very nice. Well, and that's a really great source to grab some inspiration from. I mean, just all those movies like Pulp Fiction and genre, and anything that kind of fits in that genre is very. God damn, is it good?
yeah, and like the cutscenes from GTA 3 were really good. Coming out,
Considering the time, yeah.
Yeah,
Gosh,
yeah,
what a
definitely,
mind
I
blower
agree.
that was. I remember the first time I played it, man, and it was just
like,
it was
what am
really
I
cool.
playing?
It was I was just so, I mean, maybe it was because I was younger and I just couldn't drive, period. But that was so fascinating to me. Like being able to drive when I wanted to, not because the racing game is a racing game. You know?
yeah, just that open world
Yeah,
feel
agreed.
to a game.
Yeah.
like
And I gotta say, I love the driving. I loved the driving every generation as I grew up with it. looking back on it, things don't age as well, sure. But, number 5, the most recent one, I tell you what, the driving is a lot of fun. It's pretty forgiving, and some spectacular things happen when you slam it hard enough.
Oh, yeah. Like, I mean, that even goes back to, like, GTA 3 actually crashing a vehicle into, like, a brick wall, and, like, your hood flies off. The amount of detail they had to put into that game for little things like that to happen. Or, like, for instance, like, driving into, like, street poles and, like, actually watching the gravity work in real time.
You're right.
Or getting ejected out of the car.
game's physics take effect, right?
Yeah. Depending on which way you hit it, it was, going that direction. So, and like
So,
GTA
Bubba,
5
did you
has really cleaned that up. It's crazy.
Yeah. I was going to ask Bubba if he owned GTA when he first experienced it.
Yes, I did.
Cool. So, but
Because my cousin said it
wait,
was a
did
good
your
game.
grandpa buy it for you? Or...
I don't think you probably would have bought him that.
Spyro? Spyro
did.
was too
Did he
much.
actually?
He really did.
Oh, okay, nice. I bet your grandma wasn't too happy about that.
My grandma's never heard of the game before,
Oh,
so she didn't care.
Out of
But
sight, out of mind.
I spent 13 years with my grandpa, so he kind of bought me all the negative games.
Oh, whatever. Negative. I think it's a positive. Because I had so much fun playing it.
Well, in my grandmother's eyes, negative.
Yeah.
For sure.
Sorry, Grandma.
Love you, grandma. But
Sorry, Granny.
But like what came out right after GTA 3?
Vice City.
Was it Vice City?
I know there
Yes.
was a streak of like Game Boy games too, but I couldn't tell you when that was off the top of my head.
But I guess like
did you guys really?
well, part of like the trilogy, the original. Well, not the original.
Okay, so the next main installment
the-
would be Vice City.
Yeah, and
Yeah, Vice City.
Okay.
I don't know. Was that like a full game, or was that something else that they developed originally?
That was
Well-
a full game, but it was gonna be the DLC for GTA 3.
Okay.
Yeah, and funny enough, another change, while we're on change, GTA 3 was originally supposed to be like a split path. You would either be like a police officer or a criminal, but due to overwhelming more fun being present on
Criminal.
the criminal side, it's just a freedom thing, Do I even have to say it?
Well, like
Yeah.
I remember because I was watching the video a little bit about it, and they were
It
talking
was
about
just an idea, though.
how GTA 3, like right before it came out, was like right around 9/11, and
Yes.
like, in the game they had like talks about like terroristic attacks and things like that,
Oh,
and
right.
They removed it.
and GTA 3 was like based in basically like New York City. So yeah, they had to remove it. And that's like one of the reasons why that game was delayed, was because of that, and the debate going around that. And it would have been way too soon, So
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess would you kind of say that we're almost lucky to have Rockstar in general, or GTA really?
yeah. Well, I would just say Rockstar in general.
Yeah, Rockstar
Yeah.
makes fantastic games.
So
Thank you, Tier 2.
definitely.
Hey,
And right around that time, actually, of GTA 3 was when, speaking of Tier 2, EA tried to buy Rockstar Games. From
Oh, that's
Tier
right.
2.
It was a fat deal, too.
Yeah, it
for
was
$2 billion.
Yep, $2 billion, and they said that, or no, it wasn't about that. It was about GTA 5. But yeah, for $2 billion, and they just shut that down.
They said no, thank you.
Yeah,
But
you gotta wonder what they're making.
And that was probably because they already had plans, for improving this game even further.
Huge potential and stuff. Yeah.
For sure.
We don't want EA to produce a GTA game. We don't
No.
want that.
Definitely.
No, definitely
Yikes.
not.
Brr. That's bad.
Did you guys know San Andreas was the #1 PlayStation 2 sold game?
Yeah, I heard about that. I can see why, though. Coming
Yeah.
from GTA 3 and Vice City, going into
I like Vice
San
City
Andreas?
a lot, but yeah.
See, Vice City
17.
wasn't as memorable for me, though. The only memorable part of Vice City was when the PSP came
soundtrack.
out. Yes and no.
I'm just making jokes, homie.
But, like,
But it's funny that you say that, though. because that is the most requested remake of the GTA series.
Vice City.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see why.
No, yeah.
Because I think
It's
like
interesting.
the
Go
map,
ahead,
the
go ahead.
map as well that they had in that story. Like I would love to see parts of that map come back. I don't know about the full game. I mean, it definitely should be a DLC though. You know, like a remastered
Yeah.
DLC.
Well, there's three cities. You got New York, you have San Andreas, and you have Vice City.
Hmm.
I would like to see a game where you can travel to all three of them maps.
See, that's what I'm hoping for.
That's kind of well, okay, sure. So like you would have three like main airports that you would fly into, and like you wouldn't be like driving across the country to get to these places.
I would like to drive across. I think that'd be cool.
I would too,
just do
but
bridges.
let's see
It would
about
be-
what we're asking there.
But at the same time, with PlayStation quote unquote 5, if that's what it's going to be, if that comes out, then you're going to have a game engine that would be able to run that amount of information in a game. You know what I mean?
Question. Now, do you think they're going to release it first on PS4 and then, up
Oh.
the scale for the PS5?
Probably,
So it'll
yeah.
be the
That's
same
what
Most
they,
game.
definitely.
that's what they did with GTA
Now,
4
how much
or GTA 5.
how much of a boost do you think they can give between the two games? Does it matter? Is it kind of like fuck it, add as much as you can for PS5, but we'll give PS4 a little something?
A little taste.
I would assume that they see this is the difficult thing. So if they have quite a
Like
bit
how much more
of-
work do they put into a complete game
yeah
to make it PS5 like worthy, and then to age well?
I don't know because
sorry about that.
I knew Fresh was about to sneeze or something because
All-
Fresh has some things to say.
all the downloadable content for the PS4 you can download on PS3, I do believe.
Well, yeah, I could see that, but talking about like
What were you gonna say before?
I was gonna say that it would be hard to if they're specifically making a game for the quote unquote next generation console, PS5, Xbox 2, whatever they're gonna call it.
Xbox 2.
They have
260?
to, yeah. They Xbox Zero. They have to.
Coming soon.
They have to put a lot of. It's going to be a lot of data into that. A lot of time taken into effect about like the processor they're going to be using, and also like the graphics wise. Is it going to be 4K? Is it going to be, upscaled from that? So when taking into effect that, they're going to be like, okay, this is going to be a game that basically needs to run like on a computer, basically, and that's what they're hoping like that next system's going to be. So what they'd have to
Right.
do is they're going to have to like downgrade that game basically for it to be able to run on PlayStation.
So originally they're gonna obviously have to design it for the next generation originally,
Yeah,
and then if they choose or want to release something for the PS4, they literally just have to cut some of it out, a lot of it out.
they just have to trim the extra fat that would be going on to the next system.
Yeah, because we don't even know what the next system's gonna really be like. So
But
it's
my
interesting
only,
to talk about these things because it's really a Rockstar move that we're judging.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that all depends on when the next system comes out. But I think the smarter move would be to come out with the DLC. Excuse me, to come out with the DLC for the new game, or like kind
Setting
of like
up the new game.
yeah, like a
Like a
story going
precursor?
into the new game. Yeah, and then
Okay.
that way people are still able to buy that game. But then I think they should
Sure.
have the option for like online to be cross-platform. That would be a game changer
Wait. With
between PlayStation 4 and the next system.
PC and all that. Like
Yeah.
backwards compatibility almost. But
Yeah, but with online.
certain, like lobbies.
Yeah. Which
That's
I hope
it's-
that's going to be a thing.
that would be really
that's
cool.
How did
Backwards compatibility.
Well, now to be specific though, we're not talking about what the typical gamer thinks of backwards compatibility. We're just talking about being able to play with the previous system.
Yes.
Just to clear that up, Because I love my PS2. You know why? Because I can play Final Fantasy 7 on it, 8 on it, 9.
Yeah, definitely.
Grand Theft Auto,
Spyro, which I did.
and then played the new one.
Like,
Yeah, it was a great time.
the issue that I think might come into effect is that if they did do something like that, where it was like between the two consoles, it would probably end up being the PlayStation 4 Pro, because that has a better
yes,
engine
of
to
course.
run that
And
game.
it's yeah,
and
okay.
so forth.
And now we're also kind of specifically talking about GTA, which is a dinosaur compared to the PS4 Pro.
Yeah.
So do you think there's like a lot of wiggle room there to kind of add something, or would it just be made just to fit the PS4 in general right now?
I think they
I know you were kind of
probably-
leaning on the PS4 Pro, but I mean, what's more marketable?
Well, I think on Sony's end, it's more marketable for the PS4 Pro, but
Okay,
on Rockstar's end, they're gonna do whatever is gonna get them paid the most.
sure.
I mean, when you think about it, they've been piggybacking on GTA 5 for how many years?
Dinosaurs, bro.
So
5
made
years.
a lot of money, dude. A lot of money. It was like when GTA 5
It's still making money.
came out, it was like 200 or no. Was it two? They had a budget of $270 million to create the game, and
Wow.
they grossed.
That's right. That's massive.
They grossed over $3 billion in 3 days. Or no, sorry,
In
not
3
$3
days?
billion.
Now,
$1
were-
billion
was-
in 3
was-
days. Not 3
was
billion.
GTA 5 was it the most expensive what do you call it, piece of entertainment ever made, like movies
Well, it's.
and stuff and all, like production?
I would say it's the most. It's.
Did it cost the most to produce?
for 270 million?
Yeah.
I would think it's
I
pretty
don't know.
close. I don't know.
No.
If there's a. I would assume so. I don't think there's a movie
It's
that's.
It's not the most expensive. It has
Are you
made more
positive?
money than any
Whoa.
film, book, or
Why
game.
can't it be both? Oh.
I mean, yeah. Because
That sounds more
There's
right.
some extravagant movie budgets out there, but I don't think it's. I mean, I might be speaking out of turn, but I don't think it's over $270 million for a movie.
Face it, people. We always speak out of whatever. yeah.
But I mean, for when it came out, grossing that amount of money, I mean, they've already had such a great following before that.
$6 billion.
With the previous games, and like now when you think about it, when they added all the shark cards and things like that, I mean, the game is skyrocketed in price. So
I'm
I
kind
can
of
see
curious.
why it's done that. It's gone so
I'm
far.
just gonna bring up the early release of GTA Online and how buggy it was and how many glitches and like
Yeah.
money glitches and like just like I heard specifically somebody I know got a bounty on somebody, but the bounty that he claimed was an atrocious amount of money, and somehow, and there you go, that's how he started. I'm curious if that wasn't such a big problem at the beginning, if they would have even made more money. Like, how much of a difference did it make? Because there's people there was a lot of money glitches and
I believe it,
stuff that was going on.
and that's probably kind of hard to track.
Not even intentionally.
To get people refunds or when the update comes to make sure that they get the money that they lost, things like that. I mean, that's kind of
No, they were making money.
they were making money. Not
That's what I'm
losing
saying.
money.
Yeah. In turn, GTA
That's
was
every
basically
that's not every GTA. I mean, that's every Rockstar game when you think about it. Like every Rockstar game that's been online so far. So like Red Dead Redemption, the original, that's same thing happened. You know, GTA 5 came, or GTA Online came out. It was the same thing. The new Rockstar game now, Red Dead Redemption 2, the same thing. I mean, there's so many glitches and bugs that you can do.
Just people getting loaded beyond belief,
yeah.
and
There
it's
was
like
people-
never have to worry about it, never have to grind.
Oh, for sure. I mean, there was in Red Dead Redemption
Never is
2,
not the right word for it, but
there is people like doing horse races and making just boatloads of money from them, just doing glitches, like within the
Do you
race.
think they're gonna try to like address that in this next one? Because I mean, you gotta wonder how much like more people would be like, wow, like literally there is no other choice besides grinding my ass off which is kind of reasonable now in GTA.
Yeah.
You know, it's not
But
bad.
the only way for
Um,
them to prevent that from happening is delaying the release of online. It's the bugs that they
Oh.
need to fix to actually get that to stop. So, I mean, they really have to test the game out.
like let it test out. Huh?
Yeah, like give it to those YouTubers that are gonna look for those glitches.
Yeah.
You know, let
Sure,
them get a
sure.
copy of it and let them play it and figure it out for you
Yeah.
before you release it to the general public, where it's gonna be. You
I
know,
just wonder how many 12-year-olds got that stuff going on and they were just, hyped. And then, like, these same kids would be the kids asking their parents for all that money. Because
Oh, yeah.
there's those little
Those
bastards
Fortnite
playing
kids?
that game. Those little
Oh.
bastards.
Oh.
asking for $20 for a skin, dude. I mean,
or
I see-
or just taking it.
that's true. They just got mom's card up on the system. Just charge it to the game, bro. So I think for the next game generation, yeah, they should definitely look more into it. But when you look at it now with GTA 5 online, like the glitches that they had beforehand, like doesn't make a dent in the amount of money that they've made since the release.
Sure.
So they're not really I would say back then they weren't missing out as much because not a lot of people were like playing online right away. But with the new game, I could see like a lot more people going and buying it right off the bat, and then when online's available, like taking as much advantage as possible as they can, knowing that Rockstar has all these glitches on their online games when they're released. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
I don't
possible.
know if you guys can hear that, but I have 2 dogs that are barking, so I'm gonna go
Oh, you're good,
make
dude.
sure
I can't hear
my
him.
puppies are okay.
Well, I
Well,
definitely can't hear him.
But you
It's-
go ahead. We're going to talk about
Right.
San Andreas while you go take care of
okay,
that.
good. Thank you. I'll be back. I gotta tame my puppy.
So with
Carl Johnson.
Carl Johnson,
Yeah, CJ.
CJ. Oh, okay. I totally forgot what his name was.
What, bro? That is
Dude,
the
it's been
greatest
so
Grand Theft Auto of
long.
all times.
It's been so long. See, I think it was great when it came out. Nowadays, I don't think it's as great now because we have so much in GTA 5. But
Yeah,
at the same time,
agreed.
there's so many things that I want from San Andreas in GTA 5.
Bro, I still remember cheat codes, dog.
To spawn the tank, bro?
No, just the weapons spawn.
Oh,
Just
okay.
get random weapons and ammo.
Dude, that was the day. Like, do you remember when you'd have to, even like GTA 3, like when you'd have to go and like hop online and search for the cheat codes and print them out?
Yeah.
See, like I saved them. Like I'd print them out and like slip them under my console. So like I always had it.
See, I had a desktop computer in my house, and like I'd go on there and I'd make my sister write all the cheat codes down.
There you go. Or if you didn't have a printer, because I remember I didn't have a printer at one time, and like I would have my brother sitting on the computer like reading off the cheat codes or vice versa whenever we needed something.
Yeah.
Fucking hop on the computer, AOL, just freaking dial up, taking forever. Like he's running from the cops, and he's like, "Hurry up!" I'm like, "Come on, you gotta wait for AOL to load so I can search GTA cheat codes."
See, I think I always opened it.
King Solomon
before.
has entered the game.
I
Welcome
think I
back.
always had it loaded before like I started playing,
Yeah,
just for that specific reason.
oh for sure. But going back to like San Andreas, that game
Yes, sir.
had so many things in it that I think people they liked it, but at the same time there was a big group of people that didn't like it because you had to physically eat to stay alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it wasn't like it was hard to manage.
No, but it's just another thing that you have to do when you're trying
It's
to.
just those
run
little
around
bastards that couldn't tap the buttons hard enough to get buff.
and- for sure, dude. Yeah, like getting rid
Turbo,
of the gym.
turbo.
Dude, I'm sorry, but I let my guy go in San Andreas. Dude was thick.
Number 9s.
Dude, that's
Number
right too.
nine
You could go
large.
into like restaurants then too and like get food, man.
Number 6 with
Yeah.
extra dip.
See, one of the things from San Andreas that I definitely wish that GTA 5 had was the gangs. Like, do
Yeah.
you remember that? Like, you had the gangs. I mean, you had basketball. You had, well, they have bikes now, but like you had the bikes and the ramps and the different skate parks
Yeah,
you could go
but
to.
you had, like,
It was
cool
filled.
bikes.
It was filled. Planes. The cheats were really cool too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Have we-
Oh, like driving
dang.
without like an invisible car.
Flying. Oh, yes, the
you
invisible
remember
car.
that? I
The
think that might have been
invisible
3, but-
explosive flying car.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Let's see, like
amazing.
I think
Those
the
were the
whole
days.
gang aspect would be perfect for GTA 5 based on the fact that like even if it's just for the story and not online,
Yes.
like
I'm
the
surprised
story
they didn't add that.
should have definitely had that. Like rolling with the crew, like to always have your
I feel
back.
yeah,
would've
you
been
know what? I
perfect.
feel like it's something that a lot of us expected and have just forgotten about over time now.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because honestly, remember the first time you like started playing and you're just like you finally get to the hood and stuff and you're like this really well, I guess you know what? It's not the 90s anymore, so who knows, dude. Maybe that's the big
Yeah.
point.
What was
I
the
don't know.
what was the guy that owned Chop originally in GTA 5?
Was that Lamar?
Lamar.
LD.
See, I would
lanky
love
dumbass.
if they came out with like a DLC with Lamar, and Lamar is that one who actually runs the gang, and then you're able to, like, basically become like an OG as Lamar with the gang.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That well, or like rival him or something.
Yeah, and just like I mean that opens up a whole aspect.
Yeah,
of
like because
GTA 5
Lamar
that
is
you
always
wouldn't see.
gangbanging anyway. Like,
Yeah.
why not have a gang related thing? We have a CEO, we have Motorcycle Club.
Yeah,
Why not gang things?
you never know. That might be
I
something.
mean,
they
I
bring,
get, but what would gang members do that Motorcycle Club wouldn't?
well, I think just having the opportunity to, like, hold on, we'll side table that one.
That's a
but
tough one.
that is a tough one. Like, I think that if you're talking about compared to like the Motorcycle Club, what other things you could do, like to be in a gang? I don't know. I'm not
Services
in a gang,
that would come
but
from it.
I'm assuming it'd be the same thing, or like a lot of.
I love how Fresh had to specify that. Like,
well-
I'm not in a gang.
I don't know, like gang activities. You know what I mean? It just depends on what GTA wants to do to make that aspect.
Bro, yeah,
actually
you do.
fun.
You're the Kenyan Gremlin, bro.
Dude. That,
Oh no.
Yeah.
want to be a part of a Kenyan gang?
Yeah.
Like,
Do drive-by. Just go do some drive-by.
We
shootings
run
in
really
GTA.
fast.
I don't know, dude. Like maybe they're doing trap houses or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I'm down to have a
Yeah.
GTA
Like maybe
trap
Lamar
house.
just chills on the block all day, just trapping, listening to Little Boozy.
And
Make
like-
him load.
And so, like,
Sound like
what?
20 bags.
How much money would be reasonable to be like generating through this, like Motorcycle Club and CEO,
In terms of
or like how would pass or like doing it actively, like how much money would be reasonable to ask for it? Because I mean, you get kind of a lot from the Motorcycle Club depending on what you're investing your time in.
well, I don't think
$1,000 a day.
I don't think
ahead.
that like the whole Lamar gang aspect would be online. I think it would be like a story mode.
Oh,
That's why, like,
you know what?
part of the
That's
DLC.
straight. But don't you think they'd have to do some sort of a Far Cry for that in the online mode?
I mean, they
that
probably
they
would
have
add
to,
something, but or
Yeah.
maybe like there's certain missions that Lamar would have you do online. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To build his OG credit.
Or like
as
get him
fucking say.
involved in like maybe they come out with like certain heists or something and get him involved with that or something.
Yeah. Because I mean, when you think about it, there were certain characters from the story that they brought into online to
Right.
just specifically
Absolutely.
do missions.
And I mean Lamar, I feel like is one of them, isn't he?
So I'm not sure. I don't
We
believe
just
so.
we just grind money and play heists.
I mean, for sure, but
We definitely do.
still, I don't know. I just like that aspect from San Andreas, and I wish they would just bring it into.
I like to launch
5.
you in the golf cart off ramps with my Insurgent. That was fun.
That was fun, but
That happened.
it sucked when we couldn't find another cart because it would blow up every time.
It's amazing how far those go. Try it out, people. Find a ramp, get a golf cart,
Get an
launch your
Insurgent.
friend with an Insurgent.
So, with GTA 5, what would you say is like the most memorable thing that you've done?
Story or
I would say
or just in
online.
general?
Or in
Online.
general, yeah, or in general. Because there's a lot of stuff in the story and online.
Well, we can talk about a little bit of both. Bubba, are you ready? Or do you need a second to kind of think about it?
Oh, I'm good. Go ahead, King.
I'm deferring to you.
Okay. I think my most memorable online and offline
Let's say like
was
just
the
GTA
first
in
time you
general.
really do, and GTA in general is when
Yeah.
you do the heist,
Okay.
The first time you did the heist, like,
or the first time you steal a car. I don't know. It's kind of hard to decide because GTA is just a memorable game.
It
well, there's a
definitely
lot of
is.
firsts, like, you know,
Yeah,
flying planes. Not everybody flies planes, and
but I
everything
think
they
my
play.
all-time favorite is in GTA 5 is the heist.
Okay.
Yeah. I tell you what, I'm gonna break the ice a little bit on some game modes. I tell you what I like: offense, defense. Hey, you want to tell us a little bit about that game mode, Fresh?
Basically, the offense defense is, there's teams of two.
Right, several teams.
Yeah, several teams
depending
of
on the
two,
lobby.
and one player will have an insurgent, which is an armored vehicle that's, I would say, pretty fast for its size and weight.
It's really heavy too.
And then your partner would be driving just like a straight hoopty, like just a piece
Yeah.
of shit car that just doesn't move at all.
Anything that fits that profile.
And usually it looks like a Buick that like a 19, well, not even 19, I'd probably say like 70s Buick that you'd be
doesn't
driving
climb
around.
hills,
No.
minimal torque,
Super slow. It's just
spins
like
tires anyway.
it's like a 4-cylinder. Just,
Yeah.
but
It's garbage.
And the idea of this is it's a race, but it's a race between attackers and defenders.
Mhm.
So, you know, there's somebody in that hoopty that you got to protect in the insurgent with the insurgent, you know, and that's also another thing is I'm gonna try to smash your attacker
oh yeah,
with my insurgent. So you better protect him.
there's
You know.
there's so many ways you can do it to like actually win, which makes it difficult because you don't know what the other players are gonna do. I mean, if you're in the insurgent, you get smashed by another one, and then they flip you over and keep you flipped over.
I tell you what, it is funny though that there are times when you do know what's gonna happen because you're driving that hoopty, your partner's not exactly there, and you just see the enemy.
Oh yeah,
because he's much faster and much bigger, and you know what's gonna happen.
there was traffic too, wasn't there?
I think so. I wonder if you can shut it on and off.
But like
But-
having to dodge traffic in that kind of vehicle and like in the hoopty and trying to go uphill.
Oh man,
And you're just like going like 4 miles an hour uphill, and you see this insurgent screaming at you from the back.
screaming up,
Just like-
screaming.
I mean, that's
And you know,
that's
and
a fun
it's
game mode for
it's
sure.
so fun in the party because you all hear it. It's like playing
Oh,
on
yeah.
the couch. Like remember that Smash Bros moment when you're playing on the couch and you're just getting, you know, you're getting fucked, and then you're yelling at your friend, and then you're like, and then you know your other friend is getting fucked, so you're like,
yeah.
and it's just like, yeah, it's the same thing but with cars.
It's like when you have a considerable lead and whoever's in last place, their insurgents just pushing them the whole way.
Man, it's brutal.
But
Are there any other game modes that stick out?
oh, there's
Rockets
the
versus Insurgents.
which one is
Oh,
that? Is that the
very
oh,
good?
Yeah,
very
okay.
good. Tell us, Bubba.
Basically you have, I think it's like teams of 6. There's 2 teams of 6, One team is on crates in the sky with RPGs. The insurgents come from either direction. And you'll
Right.
just
Okay.
hit them twice to make them explode, and they hit ramps and try to knock you off the metal containers.
With the vehicle.
Yes.
And there wasn't there was like
That's
Was
a
that
In
fun
one-
one.
GTA.
was that also one where you could pick different vehicles too, or was it just
Yeah, you can do
Insurgents?
like
They had some other
Supercars.
vehicles there.
Okay,
Karumas.
I think we got to do that after we're done with this podcast.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah,
remember
I've
that
downloaded
playlist
that.
I have. I actually have a couple maps that I made for racing too. But
One of the game modes I really liked was the parachute one. I
With the
don't
car
remember-
parachute?
Yeah, I don't remember which one, like what it's called, but basically the objective is they had two different kinds. They had one where you had to get you get points for there's a dartboard essentially,
sure.
and there's like 3 different rings, and it would be like 5 points.
Progressing
4
towards the
points.
center.
Yeah, 3 points, 0 points. So you want to get in the center to get 5 points. And your vehicle would start off at a high altitude. You would go on a ramp and jump off the ramp with your vehicle.
Engine dies.
Yeah, the engine stalls out, and you have
After,
a parachute. You have to parachute and try to get that bullseye. And as soon as you hit the surface area that the bullseye's on, like you
Stop.
can't drive anywhere. You either stop or you like roll forward
Yeah.
like a couple feet.
So there's a bit of strategy in
There
this where
is.
you can really lag and let everybody land and try to go off of where they place themselves and that's a pretty sweet move. That works. It's not as fun.
no.
It's not
but-
as fun. It's a lot more fun when everybody just agrees to go at one time and whatever happens happens.
Yeah. But it is funny though because you can, it's kind of like
Just knock people off.
yeah, you can knock people off. So you can actually run into people's cars and push them off of their
Yes.
target or off of the structure that the target's on. And when they leave the structure, they actually blow up.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you would run into them and your personal car would actually fall off because they had a better spot.
Right. Yep. Or you land on them and just fly over.
Yup.
It just bounce off and you're just like, no.
And there was another part of that one as well, as it wasn't like a target. There would be like
It's a hill.
no, there was one that was like it was several well yeah, there's the one that's the
Platforms.
hill. But there's one that there's several points.
They're
that you
all
can stop
basically the
on.
same idea of where you're trying to land on the
most points.
most punishing point, which is also the most rewarding.
Yeah.
Because it's just harder to get they make it more difficult. So
I was really good at the water one though. I would always land on that 5 like 75% of the time.
Dude, that one's fun. Man. They're all fun.
So
I really like the one that Bubba said though about the rockets and the insurgents because that one is a lot of action and less loading.
oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But they're all good.
But you guys
Anything
have
else?
final thoughts? We're running into 50 minutes here. What are you guys' final thoughts on Rockstar and GTA or GTA 5?
Well, a little bit of critique. I haven't played this, but I've Red Dead Redemption 2, but I've heard from people that have played it, not you two, but just outside of this party, that they were kind of disappointed with Red Dead Redemption 2. Its handling, like its characters handling. It was he related it to GTA 5 too, like it was like too much like GTA 5, and
I'm
just curious what you guys think of that. Online.
The online is just like GTA.
Well, I meant like
Yeah.
as far as
terms
the
of-
character moving too, though.
A movement
Like-
of the character.
Yeah, like how janky the controls are
Oh.
for GTA 5.
Yeah, I think that Red Dead did a little better job though.
Okay, see, that's
Yeah.
why I was asking. That's why I brought it up to you two.
I mean, we'll do another episode on Red Dead Redemption, but
Sure.
in terms of like the playability compared to GTA 5, I think it's definitely a little bit better.
Is
with
it
the character
a
movement.
lot better?
I it's better.
Because I'm just okay, all right. Because I'm like getting to the point where I played through recently. I played through 3 Vice City, 4 San Andreas. You know, I recently have played through all of them, and I gotta tell you, man, it's not getting much better.
I think it's because they're still using their same platform or their table called Rage.
Okay.
And I think that it's probably just at
thank
its
you
like
for
life
bringing it up.
point. Basically, Rage is like a platform that they built for. Originally, it was table tennis. There was a game right
Yes.
after GTA 4, I want to say. And Rage basically made it more of a better game to play in terms of like the maneuverability of the characters, and they implemented that in GTA. I want to say 5, or was it 4? Maybe it was 4. It was
Probably
4.
4.
Yeah.
Probably 4.
And it made it better than GTA 3 in terms of like the character and how they actually operate and the surrounding players or not players but people and vehicles. So it just improved it, and I think they're still running on that same platform, but it's just getting to the point where it's at the end of its lifespan for what it was when it was created.
Yeah, there's just some things
Agreed.
that have got to be addressed, man. I'm just so sick of walking into ladders and not doing anything or just falling. Or like
I think that might
walking into the wall that I'm trying to walk through a door.
I think that might
I know
be
I'm not a great fucking gamer, but wow.
I think that's more of an online issue though than in the story. Because I didn't really have an issue with the story when it came to that.
No,
It's
definitely
better in
not.
the story, but not that much better,
So
in my opinion.
So, Bubba, we have a little bit of time left, but what is your opinion on GTA 5 or Rockstar in general?
Rockstar, absolutely love the company. GTA, and by itself, one of the best games I've played, in my opinion.
Definitely.
If they make a Grand Theft Auto 6, I'm hoping that it's more, which is a lot to ask after GTA 5. Like, I love the heist, so personally I hope they bring in more heists than what we've already seen. But other than that, I love the games, and I've owned 3 copies, so obviously I like the game.
Definitely.
Well,
I would
but-
say, I mean, for my final thoughts, I love GTA. Through all their games that they created, even going back to the like original game when I first played besides Vice City, but when I played like GTA, the original game, like even when I played it like in the early 2000s, it was a great game even then. And just seeing how it's progressed, I'm excited for what they come up with. Their online has been, I'd say, like a great asset for them. They made a lot of money from it, but I put a lot of hours
ton of fun.
online. I mean, it's
Fun.
created
I
a lot
put a
of
lot
good
of
memories.
frustration into it too.
I mean,
Agreed.
it's for an open world game, like it's pretty
Well,
much like
GTA.
endless,
It's what you expect.
endless things that you could do in that game. It's really hard to actually get bored of it because there's so much to do. But I think what you get bored of online is just getting killed all the time. At least me personally.
Well, you can go to passive mode too.
That's true. But I mean, there was times where you and I even remember with Fallen, we would just like stand on a plane and like try to get onto. We were on your Avenger, right?
The Hydra.
Yeah,
the
we were
Hydra
on the
and the
Hydra,
Avenger.
and we were trying to get into King's Avenger.
My
it was on
my Avenger was
autopilot.
floating. Yeah.
And like
That's
we
pretty
did
funny.
that for, I swear it was like at least 2 hours
An
we
hour.
were doing that or something like
At
that.
least, yeah.
So I mean, just stuff like that. There's always something to do on that game. So I appreciate. What
Hey, just to be
GTA's
clear,
done.
real quick, they have not started working on the next GTA, right? Like they haven't made any decisions on it, as far as I know.
I would
I
assume
don't know.
because
they've
of
been
Red
working
Dead.
on it. I would assume they've been working on it.
Really? Oh, even though Red Dead?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would assume that they've been working on it for several years. It's just I guarantee you they've started already like developing the story that they're going to put in the game.
Story.
I guarantee you they've like started developing vehicles and weapons, all that kind of stuff. I just don't think
the
that
setting and all that. So
yeah, I just don't think that they probably. I mean, because it's really
curious
easy.
What it's gonna be.
It's really easy to transform a game like GTA 5 into the next generation. In terms of they're probably using the same technology and software that they use for GTA 4, but they're just upgrading it, making it better, and then switching out certain
to
things
fit the next system.
Yeah, there's I don't think there's any game that's actually like, well, when you think about how many games they have GTA, they really just have to take that game and polish it off. Like, they're not going to start it from the ground. They're not going to start from scratch.
Yeah, exactly.
Know.
There's nothing wrong with the game that they'd have to completely disband the game and build a whole new one.
I wouldn't know about that stuff.
Like, I would assume that they would just take, and I think that's probably what they did with also Red Dead Redemption. They probably took Red Dead Redemption 1 and took that and then added on to it and upgraded,
agreed.
The quality of what they were adding on, actually onto the physical map.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
But the play style's all there. It's the same play style,
Yeah.
It's just how can they make it better?
Yeah, seriously.
So, but that's just my opinion. I don't know. I'm not a game. That would be a really good question for Doug. So,
yeah,
we can hit him up with something like that. Give you guys an update next week and maybe do a short bonus clip or something like that. Interview with Doug about it. But yeah, holy crap, we're at an hour right now.
Yep.
Just wanted to plug our social medias. You can find us on Instagram at unremarkable_gamers. We're on Twitter at unremarkable_GA. We will be every Monday posting a podcast. So look forward for that. On iTunes as well, we might be doing some highlight clips of the podcast. Or not on iTunes, sorry. On Instagram, we'll be doing some highlights of certain podcasts. We are on iTunes, we're on SoundCloud, we're on Spotify, and hopefully in a couple months we'll be on iHeartRadio. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for sticking around for such a long episode, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Peace.
Deuces.